case anybody was
Going to
wondering.
9 tonight, 9 or 10 tonight. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. So we'll start off, agenda item 1.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley, having established quorum, resolves to call the June 22nd, 2020 regular meeting of council at the hour of 5:01 p.m. I need a mover and a seconder. Dean. Second, Gary. All in favor? Gary, thank you. Okay. Anyone see anything they need to move from the consent agenda to the regular agenda? I don't think there was a whole bunch on there. Are there some minutes and stuff? Move on to 2.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to adopt the agenda for the June 22nd, 2020 regular meeting of council as presented, and that a copy of this agenda be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Mover seconder again, please. Rob. Seconder. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Next item is the conflict of interest declaration. I have a signed conflict of interest from Councillor Baker on 1.2 of the in-camera and 7.2 of the regular meeting, which is on some capital purchases we're looking at, which he tendered on. Agenda item 4.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 5:03 p.m., that the regular meeting of council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. Mover seconder. It's Elise and Chris. All in favor? take it if we get it.
Yeah. But just to give you an idea, like I've heard kind of a rumor of what Benson Hatch was, and I think our revenue is around 110 million. Normally, we're going to get about 600,000 of federal gas tax. So, you know, if you work it out to a percentage, like I say, it's maybe not a huge number, but if it can get another project underway, and you know, that's not the worst thing.
Any further questions, council? Statements? I think we're quite happy with the results, and we'll carry on and see if we can duplicate them next year.
Perfect. Absolutely, that's always the hope. So without being there, Audrey, I just don't know what the situation is there. Are you guys actually in an active council meeting, or are you in camera right now?
No, they're all here in the room.
We're in camera though.
In camera, but they're all, it's not a virtual meeting.
Okay, no worries. I was just gonna say, when you guys come out of in camera,
Yeah.
and you go to do the motion, would you mind just sending us the minutes or something to prove that that motion went through for the approval of the statement?
No, for sure. I'll send you a certified copy of it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
That's good. Well, thank you very much for all your help, Lisa and Tracy, for getting this done. And yeah, if they have any further questions, we can.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's our pleasure, and definitely if you have any other questions, if anything comes up, definitely just give me a shout or shoot me an email, and we can help you out with that.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, you guys have a good night.
You too. See you guys. Bye. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Night.
Bye.
Alrighty, we'll move on. After trash abatement.
How we got cash in the bank and any debt coming due or anything, or is it all termed out, all our debt? Like, we'll have interest rates from.
Nope, that's all turned out. You have to do that through the SMB, otherwise.
Yeah. 3 more years and the water tower is paid off, 5 more years and the water west is paid
And
off.
then the pool is in 33-3, but that is one of the guidelines that it's for the term of the loan when you get approval from SMB. Which ours aren't very high on, either the water west one might be a little higher, but the tower and the pool are definitely pretty low.
What are they now?
Yeah, they're actually in your,
Yeah, 3.25%. But what's it down to now? 1.7. Almost as what they're paying us.
Water west is at 3.42, the tower is at 3.52, and the pool is at 3.15.
Okay, we'll move on to Zamboni and fill station purchase. Carl is.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I do agree. Go around the block. Get your exercise. And a half done too long today.
Need some moral support from me. Don't touch your pillow.
Carl, go ahead and tell us all about the Zamboni and
Okay,
Ron. Agenda item 5.1 that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 7:11 p.m. that the confidential in-camera meeting is concluded and the regular meeting of council is resumed. We need a mover and a seconder for that. Dean, second. Gary. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Agenda item 5.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to amend the agenda for the June 22nd, 2020 regular meeting of council to remove item 7.1, Zamboni purchase, and item 7.2, natural gas fill station. And I need a mover and a seconder for that, Elise and Randy. All in favor? Okay. 6.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve as presented the minutes from the June 8th, 2020 regular meeting of council, and that these minutes be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Mover and seconder, Chris and Elise. Elise, all in favor? Agenda item 7.3, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to receive as presented the audited financial statements and supporting schedules of the Town of Kindersley for the year ended December 31st, 2019, as prepared by MNP LLP, and that these documents are received as information and filed. Audrey, perhaps can you just fill us in on that?
Sure, through the mayor to council. So the MNP, the auditors for the town of Kindersley, have completed their audit of the 2019 financial statements. Provided there was, I did have to do one journal entry, I'm not gonna lie. But,
What?
I know. I like zero, I had to tolerate one. We had it was a good year, with our capital and everything, our surplus went up a bit, so.
Any questions, Council? I think we've all had the opportunity to video conference with the Director of the Audit earlier tonight, so seeing no questions, can I have a mover and a seconder for the motion to accept the audited financials? Councillor Galbraith, seconded by Councillor Anderson. All in favor? Thank you. Agenda item 7.4, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to direct the Mayor and CAO to enter into a Community Airport Partnership Program agreement with the Ministry of Highways and Infrastructure. Deputy Administrator Kim, can you just fill in the general public on that?
Sure. So this is for the Community Airport Partnership Program. So it's for a regional airport, and this is a funding program that we apply usually every year to the government of Saskatchewan, and we were approved for 2 projects. So basically it'll be for asphalt preservation, so crack sealing out at the airport for the entire runway, as well as some surface repairs, some aggregate and groundwork leading up to the hangars. And so it's a funding agreement with the Saskatchewan government. It's a 50-50 funding program up to a maximum of $9,000. So we're just looking to enter into an agreement, so we need a resolution to do that.
Questions? Not, I need a mover and a seconder, please. Second, Jerry. In favor? Okay, agenda item 7.5, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to authorize the abatement of 2020 municipal taxes in the amount of $9,299.16 as per the Town of Kindersley 2020 municipal tax abatement schedule for nonprofits. And that the schedule will be attached to and form a part of the minutes of this meeting. CAO Audrey, can you just comment on that?
Mayor to council. So This is with our charitable nonprofit property tax abatement policy that we made, I do believe, 2 years ago, which allows nonprofit organizations to apply to get the abatement of the municipal taxes only for that property. So we had 4 organizations that did apply, made the application to apply for that, and so these properties still pay their school taxes and they still pay their $300 base tax. It's just the municipal portion that would get abated for that dollar figure.
Any questions, Council?
But
The schedule doesn't agree with.
yeah, that resolution doesn't work.
Should be 11,795.93 on the resolution.
Yes. That or this is added up wrong. Don't know which it is.
11,795.93 looks to be the right total.
Because you got 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. It's definitely more than, yeah. So just change the resolution to read
Okay, we'll have that resolution reading 11,795.93.
Right.
Okay. After that change, can I have a mover and a seconder for the motion, please? Councilor Anderson, second, the mayor. All in favor? Item 7.6, financial report for May, CAO Audrey.
Okay, so there wasn't a whole lot of changes. Again, I just put the changes in red that are different from the previous one, so we're not just rehashing everything every month. The number 2 item is that it's at almost 100% just because we levied the taxes in May. The grant and lieu are still very low. Those were sent out in May, but we've got quite a few of them in now, but as of the end of May, we hadn't received them yet. Point number 7 is your tourist booth. I do not feel that that's probably going to change at all, and that's just due to the COVID restrictions. We haven't opened up our tourist booth, so there's been no expense for that yet. It might open, but I'm quite hesitant that it will. And the sports grounds, which is point number 9, the revenue is high, and that is for the trip of the month 17 was finalized, and the profits, or that trip of the month was going half to the basketball tennis courts project, and the other half was to the Norm Ritchie Community Center. So this was the donation from the trip of the month for the tennis basketball court project that went in there. So, and the reason it's high is that wasn't actually put into the budget. That was a missed item, so it's just quite a bit. The fact the difference would even fit in that line. So, other than that, there was no changes to that.
Okay. Any questions on that, Council? Okay. We'll move on to agenda item 8.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to accept as submitted the list of accounts as paid by the Town of Kindersley in the amount of $1,156,099.54, and that a copy of said accounts be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Did you receive any queries at all? Council, did you see anything in here? I guess looks like a big number, but 810,000 of it is lagoon progress payments. So take that away, we're dealing with 340 or 50,000. Didn't see. There was a substantial amount paid on the fire hall to get the whole landscaping finished up
To
and
the
everything.
east side.
It's all done now.
It's complete.
Was that the gravel and the maintenance, and the work, or was that just the material? Both?
Yeah.
That was it.
Material and labor, yeah.
packing going on there. Looks pretty nice now.
Yeah.
Okay, seeing no questions, could I have a mover and seconder for that? Councilor Moss, second, Councilor Becker. All in favor? Okay, 9(1)A. The Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the first reading of bylaw 7-20, being a bylaw to repeal certain bylaws of the Town of Kindersley. Audrey, perhaps you could explain what we're doing here?
Yeah, so these are bylaws that are still on the books, so they're still active, but don't need to be. So we just need to repeal them off. A lot of them are almost 40 years old, some of them. And so like the street number, buildings, the requirements for disclosure, that's under a new policy. So we don't need that one anymore. Yeah, so these are just old bylaws that need to come off the books. A lot of them you'll see are a bylaw to incur a debt, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 8 of them. Those were when we had to do a bylaw for our line of credit, which we no longer have to do because our debt limit we're within our debt limit, so those don't need to be done anymore.
Couple or three more firefighting ones.
Yeah, so then we had to repeal the ones because we did pass our new agreement with with the fire hall agreement, so those were also repealed.
Okay. Okay, Councilor Baker.
Through the mayor to admit, 2985, I was just trying to look it up on the weekend, and it's not online. Is that encompassed in another bylaw now, to number your building?
I believe that's in our zoning bylaw.
I think so.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would have to double check what clause it is, but I believe it's covered in there.
So we're not
So we don't-
rethinking that?
No, we just don't need it in two separate bylaws, so
That's
just so we
okay.
have.
And sometimes when that
consistency.
happens, they kind of contradict each other.
Yeah, so we try to
sometimes,
make sure that it's only in one, and then when you make a change, you only have to make a change in one rather than in two different bylaws.
Okay, so that was the first reading. I need a mover and a seconder. Second, Rob, all in favor, carried. 9(1)B, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the second reading of bylaw 720. Need mover, seconder again, Dean, Randy, all in favor, carried. 9(1)C, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve that 3 meetings be given to bylaw 720 at the June 22nd, 2020 regular meeting of council. Mover, seconder again, please. Elise, Chris, all in favor? Carried. And finally, 9(1)D, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve that bylaw 07-20, being a bylaw to repeal certain bylaws of the Town of Kindersley, be read a third time and hereby be approved, and that the approved copy of this bylaw be attached to and form part of these minutes. Moved by Dean, second Gary. All in favor? Carried. This one here. Agenda item 10.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the consent agenda, including the following items. Thank you from West Central Abilities for our donation to their new building. EK Water Board pumping report for May. Sask Energy Tune-Up Assistance Program, June. New Building Canada Fund minutes for May 27th, 2020, and the Water Security Agency Compliance Inspection, June 10th, 2020. Mover and seconder, please. Great. Second, Rob. All in favor? Okay. Okay. Agenda item 11.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 7:26 p.m., that the regular meeting of council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. I need a mover in a second for that, please. Lisa, this. All in favor? Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 8:26 p.m., that the confidential in-camera meeting is concluded and the regular meeting is resumed. I need a mover. Seconder, Dean, Randy. Oh, we're moving right along here. All in favor? Okay. Any business arising from the in-camera session? Item 14.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves that all business having been concluded, the June 22nd regular meeting of council be adjourned at 8:26 p.m. Mover, seconder, Dean, oh, he's right on that. All in favor?